Hey guys, it's Moonlander back with another horror movie review. And today we're going to be looking at a 2012 Swedish movie called Wither.
Så vad är det?
Now I watched this movie on Amazon Prime, so it's free to watch if you have it. Now this movie is made by a couple of Swedish guys that happen to have made the next Puppet Master, which is in post-production now. So when I picked this movie to watch it, in the description it says it's a Swedish homage to Evil Dead. So I thought I'd give it a try. I mean, it looks like a fun movie. Now this is a movie about a young couple that plan a weekend away with their friends at a cabin secluded in the woods. And before leaving, they have dinner with the boyfriend's parents, who I guess somehow acquired this cabin. It's not really clear to me, but they haven't been there, but they're gonna send their kids out there for a weekend or something. So they meet the rest of their friends, and I want to say there's like a total of 4 girls and 3 guys, and they have to park and walk into the cabin, and they come across this guy wielding a rifle, and he doesn't really say anything to him, but they decide to cuss him out anyway, and they head to the cabin. Now when they get to the cabin, the front door is locked, and the main character, the boyfriend, decides that he's gonna pick the lock. So while he's picking the lock, another guy has this girl climb through a window so she can scare everyone. And now when she gets inside, the lights aren't on and she's scared, but yet she finds a trap door to a cellar and decides to go down there instead of waiting for her friends.
Lyssna nu väldigt noga på mig. Min farfar berättade för mig när jag var liten om en folksägen som handlar om varelser som bor under jorden.
Now, when she gets back up, there's something wrong with her. Her eyes are bloody, and when she uses the bathroom, the toilet's full of blood. I mean, it's pretty nasty. So eventually, this woman gets to a point where she starts attacking people, and they have to bind her. And the movie goes on, and what she has spreads to everyone else. And, so the people that aren't infected with whatever this is are trying to survive the night. And that's pretty much what you get in this movie. So the things I liked about this movie is it's a fast-paced, bloody, and gory mess. And I would have to say, I definitely admire the actors and actresses in this movie's willingness to be flung across rooms and be covered in just blood and gore. And there's even a scene where a woman's being buried and she's just getting shovelfuls of mud thrown in her face. And I just found that kind of cool that these people are like, yeah, I'll do that. Oh, yeah, and there was one thing I barely caught it. When one of the guys was laying on the ground after a struggle or something, the shot wasn't really close enough to really notice it. I just barely caught it. This guy pees his pants while he's laying there, and I just thought that was amazing that this guy did that, and it's barely even noticeable. It's like one of those things you might have to rewind to make sure that you saw what you were seeing. And one more small thing I thought was cool in this movie is when that woman goes down into the cellar and she gets taken over by whatever this is that makes them crazy. They show her eyes, and they don't just turn black or start bleeding. They cross and shoot each way. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, so the things I didn't like about this movie is the characters and the writing are completely ridiculous. Now, this movie is full of just strange character behavior that makes no sense to the movie or what even comes close to what people would probably do in a way. Yeah, it's very strange. So at the beginning of the movie, the boyfriend and girlfriend are laying in bed, making googly eyes at each other, whatever. So the girlfriend's gotta go to work, and she asks the boyfriend like what he's gonna do today, and he's just like nothing. And so I don't know if they like wanted you to think this guy's a bum, but it never really comes up again in the movie, so I don't know if he just had the day off or what, but it kind of weirded me out, and I just think it was like written poorly or something. I just don't know what they were going for there, if they were going for anything at all. And then one of the guys that goes on this trip is definitely supposed to be like a jerk or something. I think the girls refer to him as a player. And now when this first girl that goes down into the cellar and has to be bound, he doesn't really see any of this, and at first glimpse of this woman, when she's got her hands tied up, he just immediately starts throwing haymakers in her face. And I remember just watching like, what in the world is this guy doing? Like, they don't even know what's going on. And this guy just decides to start pounding her in the face. I thought that was odd. And then there's another scene where one of the guys is sitting over one of the dead girls, and I mean, he's like trying to cry. I mean, it was just really goofy. And why this guy's like sitting there crying about this girl, like when he was like staring at her ass when she was climbing through a window. And other than that, he had no interaction with this woman at all. So he just saw her as like a sex object, yet he's sitting there like it was a sister. And he's not really doing a good job at it. So with all this goofy writing and goofy character behavior, I feel like the impact the blood and gore should have is totally lost. I mean, it's just kind of an empty experience when you see all this blood and gore. I mean, there's no emotion behind it. You don't really care about the people it's happening to one way or another, so it's just kind of an empty viewing experience, really. And I guess the thing that bothered me most was the Amazon's description of the movie. I mean, I don't know if this is exactly the way the filmmakers would have described this movie, but the description listed is the Swedish homage to Sam Raimi's original Evil Dead. And look, I just don't see it. I mean, other than that it's in a cabin, I guess. Now, and then it also says that it's demonic possession, which I didn't see that. It was just like some nasty old woman covered in mud, but yet it almost sounded like there was nothing demonic about her. And when the people become possessed, they don't like start saying, "I'm gonna swallow your soul." I think like the only thing I remember them saying was like, "Hit me" or something. And yeah, so I was disappointed in this movie that it didn't go for more like a demonic type of possession. My final thoughts on this movie is I'm not sure which was more entertaining, all the blood and gore or the strange character behavior. And I would probably say the strange character behavior was the most entertaining part. And now between the two, this movie is a spectacle that's almost worth watching. So I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. Alright you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next review.